Good evening, everyone. Today we will be looking into the next topic, which is purchasing. Yesterday we have seen the SSP thing. Today we will walk through on this purchasing submodule of procurement. Let me directly go to this instance. I have logged in and I came to this procurement offering, going to this purchase order. So we need a buyer role or procurement manager role. Then we can access this via this navigation. Let me directly click on create order. I want to create a purchase order, but I'm not able to see the procurement view. So straightforward answer is we are not a procurement agent. So this user, which user is this? This is PRC05 student. So we will create procurement agent for this user. Manage procurement agents. Procurement agent is a buyer, so we need to create that. Then procurement BU, US1, agent, ERC05, save. Now I am just going save and close. Let's do that this way. Click on done. Come here and see create order. Now you have this BU. US1 business unit. I'm creating a requisitioning view, selecting that. Then lease applies. All these things are fine. When I click on create, it should open a screen with the purchase order detail. So basic details I have entered, the item detail or the requirement what we need to procure on this purchase order, I need to provide on the lines level. So on header, if you see this, I have selected this supplier thing. I have selected this procurement view. Also, I can give some description. Test PO for demo. Then let's say I click on this plus icon to create line. Here in line, I can create either item. We worked on one of the item yesterday. AS10 something. So AS1500, I click OK. Automatically, this description should get populated. Category should come. I'm just giving quantity. Base price comes from master. So I can give requester, or I can give my name as requester. Just try to click on save. It says it is saved, last saved, so it has been saved now. When it is saved, just go to distribution and check for the accounts. What all accounts are there? So it has derived this account. If I click on this edit, I will see that PO charge account got derived, accrual account got derived, and PO variance as well. But I have not set this anywhere. So there was a TED setup which we have to do. We will go through that as well. Coming back on basic required things that we need to provide on this line. We need to provide the line type. So we have a line type setup. So here goods is the line type. And user asks, as soon as I create a purchase order, it should be three-way. Now match approval level is two-way. How can I make it in default functionality that it should be three-way? Go to line type. setup and maintenance, procurement offering, line type. Manage purchasing line type. This is the task. Come here and goods. You can see match approval level is 2-way. I'm making it 3-way. So if your business says anytime, any PO which I create with any of the line type, it should have 3-way by default. So come here and make that setup. Save and close. Click on form. Okay, I'm already there. So I just click OK. I'm not submitting it. I'm going out, save and close. I'm creating one more PO. With same details. And here, once it's created, we will check. We will create one line and we will see what is defaulted. This time I'm not taking item. I'm going with just descriptive. And I click on just edit. It will say, okay, first provide these details. Miscellaneous category, quantity 1, each. So earlier I took item. That's why all got defaulted. So base price, I will say 1. Then I will click this pencil. And here you see this match approval level is defaulted because of this line type, goods line type. It came as now 3-way. So user have this kind of requirement which can be fulfilled in this way. Now, if I click on OK or I click on save, charge account should again get generated. Again, if I click on edit on this line, so you see this time PO charge account is, you can see this has been generated. Earlier it was blank. Another issue that we usually face, user says I have created a PO, but I am not able to receive in my receipts. Issue is they have not provided the requester. So I can provide requester as my name. Another critical point, go to schedules. Here, I clicked on this edit. Here you will find receiving controls. These comes from receiving options, receiving parameters, but you can override this for this particular PO. This will be the topmost priority. Invoice match approval 3-ways getting defaulted, which is fine. Click OK. I'm going out and going to distributions now. Earlier we saw only the accounts. This time I want to show you that requester is also available on this distribution level. We have requisition. If requisition got converted to PO, you will see the requisition number for which line. Requisition line also will appear here. So all these accounts are derived. So these are also appearing here. I have not used any project details, so no project is coming here. So what we have done till now, we have created one procurement agent, then only we were able to create the PO by that user. There is a tab which is contract terms. So if you have contract implemented, you can associate that contract here. And these are the terms and conditions. So when client says, for my different kind of POs, I have different terms and condition. So if someone is not aware of that, there is something which is procurement contract, which is also being implemented in that environment. then they may suggest that customize the PO PDF. But in place of customizing the PO PDF, because if you have n type of, I should say 10 or 12 different type of orders for which you need different terms and condition, in place of that, create different terms templates using those, having those different terms and conditions. So when you associate a term template to this purchase order via this contract terms tab, and when you see the view PDF, you will find on the last page all the terms and condition being pulled up from the contract. This is the beauty of that module. So when I click on this add contract terms, any term template which is enabled to be utilized on the PO, that will be available. So standard terms, subcontracting terms, let me take this, click OK. It's taking some time. By the time I can go here. So just came back. So this is the terms and condition it brought from this terms template. So if I just click on save, I go to main again, and I click on this view PDF. So something is getting generated. Yes, it is downloaded. And now you see second page, this is the PO detail. And you can see a watermark as draft. It will come until it is approved. Then contract terms and conditions. So you see all contract terms and condition from that terms template came on this PDF. Now I will just save and close. Before that, let me copy this number, save and close. I will go to manage orders. And let's do a blind search because buyer is my name. So let's see what all POs are available. I have created two POs. One we have seen. This one we have seen. Now earlier, this one which I have created, still it is in incomplete status. So I want to show you the PDF on that PO. Click on view PDF. Click on this, you can see this 742. This does not have any third or fourth page. Earlier PO was having third and fourth page, which pulled the template terms and condition. So there is no need to modify the PO print only for this terms and condition. We have the option of utilizing the terms template if we have procurement contract implemented in our environment. Going back, click on edit. This bill to location on purchase order, this comes by default from your business unit location, or it comes from the supplier when we have one of the option as site assignment. There we define this bill to location, then it comes from there. If we don't define this from at that location, then it is defaulted from my business unit. While defining a business unit, we provide a location, and that location comes on PO as a bill to location. So we have acknowledgement functionality. If we want that this particular supplier should acknowledge this PO before sending any goods, then I will say yes, acknowledge is required. In how many days you need the acknowledgement? I can say, okay, in 4 days, I need the acknowledgement. If I don't need acknowledgement, just say no, I don't need acknowledgement. When you say require signature, it enables the functionality of DocuSign. So we have DocuSign set up. I have created a video for DocuSign. You can go through that. This is the basic elements. These are the basic elements for this purchase order. Now I'm not going to submit it. I'm clicking on cancel. Now I am going on creation of the blanket purchase agreement. Create agreement. Purchase order. What I did, I provide supplier, I provide header details, I provide line details. I can see distribution, accounts generated, but this BPA is somewhat different. In spite of creating BPA for same supplier, Lee supplies, supplier side contact will default. Just click on create. Blanket purchase agreement will be created. Here we don't have the concept of distributions. Now on header section, we have these details: supplier, buyer, when is the start date, when you want to put the end date, total agreed amount, minimum release amount, that if someone says I need to have the contract, then buyer party or he can himself, that supplier can say, I need minimum order. If you are going to put, let's say this contract is for 1000 INR or $1000, then user or supplier will say that in single shot, please order $200. I may not be able to supply below that. So minimum release amount, I will put 200. Agreement amount, I can put 1000. So when I keep on creating the purchase order based on this agreement, then it will come that I will be minimum I need to create a release or purchase order for 200, and maximum that I can do cumulatively is 1000. Here we have an option to connect the master contract, which is my procurement contract. So I can just search in this LOB and connect with a procurement contract. So when we'll see that module, we will try to connect this blanket agreements, purchase orders. At that time, we will see how we can connect them. Now going to line section, similarly, we can say goods item, or I'm not providing any, I'm not selecting inventory item. Test for BPA. I can put that miscellaneous. Each price 10. Click on save. Here you see I don't have any other tab. Only lines is there. I don't have schedule. I don't have distribution. So let's click on this edit for this particular line. Then we will have few more options, which says like price break. It's cumulative and non-cumulative. Cumulative means when you are going to order one by one and you reach up to certain amount. So it's kind of, we are achieving a milestone, we will get certain discount. We are achieving another milestone, we will get certain discount. But when you say non-cumulative, it means in single order, that agreed quantity should be ordered so that you can get a discount. Let's say supplier says, if you order 100, I will give you 5% discount. If you order 200, I will give you 6% discount. If you order 500, I will give you 10% discount. So in cumulative, it comes as when you create something, when you reach up to 100. So that time you will get a discount of 5%. Then if you reach to milestone of 200, you will get a discount of 6%. When you reach a milestone of 500, you will get a discount of 10%. This is all cumulative. I created something for 50, again 50. So this new one, I will have the discount. Then I created again 50. Then I again created 50. So this new one will have the discount. So to achieve that milestone, it's cumulative thing that I can have multiple orders. But for non-cumulative thing, it means if I'm ordering in single order quantity of 500, then only I will get a 10% discount. If I order 99 as a quantity, I'm not going to get any discount because discount starts with the order value of 100. So that's the difference between non-cumulative and cumulative. Here we provide manufacturer part number, manufacturer URL, or any supplier. We have option of supplier item as well. Yes, supplier item as well. We can say, so this supplier calls this item with some other code. Manufacturer called this item as with some other code. So that's manufacturer part number. We can We can set the minimum release amount at line level as well. So these all things can be controlled here. When I say control, we can configure it here. We have a control tab along with this uh, blanket purchase agreement, which says for how many business units you want to utilize this particular blanket purchase agreement. So you need to add all those business units here. So if I just click add all business units, I may get to yes, UK and all. This will come. Let me delete this. I have not configured this for supplier. So I'm utilizing only for US1. Then we have few additional details. So you can find this detail from Google. I'm not going to give you this detail. Notification control. So if you want to set some notification, like you want expiration, amount not released. If you say amount released, if 50% of amount has been released, then you get a notification from this date. If I say expiration, how many days before expiration? So if I say 24 and date, so I need to get this expiration notification. So all these notification can be set in this notification control. So we have retroactive pricing concept as well, which means if you update this blanket purchase agreement at any point of time, then all the open purchase orders will get a price update. So it says reprice open orders only. Communicate price update means to this price update, if it is happens, then we need to communicate to supplier after PO gets updated. Initiate process upon agreement approval. So which says once this agreement is approved, then this retroactive price will automatically initiated. Automatic generate orders. When you create requisition referring this blanket purchase agreement for the line item that we have used, it will be automatically submitted for approval and order will be generated. If you don't select this, it won't work. Same, we have contract terms tab here, which we can utilize to pull the terms template and save and close. We have completed the BPA part where we have given the header section and line section. I have not submitted for approval. Go to task. Now this time create a contract purchase agreement. So where we don't have any line item defined. So style is contract purchase agreement. And we say lease applies. Create. So this time you see there is no line section. What we are doing a contract with this supplier for this particular amount. We can set a duration when we want to start or end. We can just set the notes, any acknowledgement if you require that signature functionality to be enabled. All those things can be set here and you go to control section for which business unit you want to utilize. So again, notification control is available here. This is the contract purchase agreement without line, without schedule, without distribution. So when you create a requisition and we don't have any BPA and we don't have any other reference document for that particular requisition that we are creating, but we have a CPA, system will automatically pull this CPA and create a order for you automatically. So that's the point for this CPA. Now we were discussing about the TAD. Before moving to TAD, any questions till now? I'm open to questions now.
No questions.
Okay.
There is one
Either
receipt in PO line. What is the basic functionality of this accurate receipt?
okay. So let me open that PO. Where were you mentioning that?
In schedules.
Okay.
Below of the PO charge account.
This one, accrue at receipt. So this is one of the concepts for finance which says when you want to create your liability, when you want to generate your liability at what time? At your month end, at the time of receipt. So most of the inventory item which have the destination as inventory, we maintain their stock are accrue at receipt. But the expense item, we have an option either accrue at receipt or accrue at month end. So this depends on the business requirement, how you want to enable this. This feature is enabled on the common procurement business function. At the task level, we set this, what is the default you want to utilize. So for the inventory thing, it will be accrual at receipt. For your expense items, it can be accrue at receipt or it can be accrued at period end. So I hope it is clear.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Now I will be moving to transaction account definition. Again, going to setup and maintenance. Again, I need that procurement offerings. So I will be selecting that. I will go and select that. Procurement transaction account rules. This is manage transaction account definitions. So Oracle has given this standard. So you can see created by application. So when we go for implementation, we usually copy this and create a new tag. So here we need to define accrual account, charge account, destination. So all these needs to be defined. So if I just scroll to right or I just click on done, let me create a new purchasing tab default. I'm not able to see the action. Let me follow this way. Name tab or test. See, if I am not selecting chart of account, I can see all segments of chart of account which has been defined in system, all are visible. But if I select my chart of account, US chart of account, then you see the number of segments enabled for this US chart of account will get enabled because whenever I create a requisition, I will find company, LOB account, only these segments in the chart of account string. Now I need to define this accrual account. So what can be my Oracle has given certain rules. So purchasing accrual account. So I'm selecting this. Similarly, purchasing charge account rule, I can select that. Similarly, destination charge account, so it will also be there. Purchasing destination charge account, purchasing destination variance account, then variance account. We will be able to find the definitions of accrual, charge, and variance very easily, but destination charge account and destination variance account are used only if your requisitioning BU and procurement BU are different, which means one business unit is requesting something for which my procurement BU, which is the centralized procurement, is catering as a procurement business unit. And that at that point of time, your charge account should be, or I should say, the expense should be booked from the location where this request has been made. So if one of the business unit is your London and you are raising a request for Edinburgh, then if your Edinburgh is your procurement BU, then your London requisitioning BU will be different. And then when you create a PO in Edinburgh, there will be a requirement of this destination charge account as your London is going to be charged. If you are not having this segregation in your business units, then this won't appear on your purchase order. The PO that we have created, you had have seen only accrual account was there, charge account was there, and variance account was there. These two were not there because our requisitioning and procurement BU were same. So that's the main difference between these destination and normal accounts. Now, charge account, this is the main account where all the expenses are booked. We need to set various rules for this charge account. Now, this thing, I have pulled Oracle standard account combination rule string. We can very well pull this as per requirement. We can modify this account combination rule as well. But most of the implementation, we get we need to use this segment rules as overriding rules. So pull the basic string from the Oracle standard rule and then define your overriding segment rules. So if you have defined your overriding segment rules, then this particular segment will get overridden according to this account rule. This string is generated only to get some base values, and over this segment rules overrides each segments if I put value. If I don't put value on any of the segment, then the base string which has been generated from this rule will be kept as it is. It will not be overridden. So only overriding segments having values will get overridden. I hope this is clear. Any doubt till now? This is quite critical. Okay, moving to this account rule. I will show you this account rule. I'm not saving my TAD. Manage account rules. I can search this. So this is purchasing charge account rule created by Oracle. It says source is requisition charge account. It should come from requisition, then user preferred account, then sub inventory expense account. So all these are the source from where account can be derived. So this is a sequence. And how to control this, which account should work for me? We have the conditions. So which says requisition charge account is not null. If means if we have a requisition and requisition have a charge account, then charge account should be pulled up from the requisition. It should not happen that you have created a requisition and there was some charge account, create charge account charge on the requisition and it got approved. Approvers knows that the account which is used are these accounts. And while coming to PO, it gets override or it gets changed. So it will be a big disaster in finance terms. So we need to create such rules that we need to sustain the requisition charge account if something is coming from requisition. Similarly, if I go to some other like employee charge account. So employee charge account, I hope you would be aware of where it is defined. Let me go to that setup as well once. Setup and maintenance. Again, procurement, let's say manage users. And search the user. Let me search student. I hope everyone would be aware of this. So I'm moving ahead. Student, you can see three dots here. Click on this. You have a lot of options here. I'm not going into that. Select this line, click on action. We have expense information. So here you defined expense account. So this is the requirement employment charge, employee charge account. So something if it is defined here on the employee record, then it can be pulled up in your accounting. So this is the sequence. First, one, two, three. This gives you the priority. Which one is called first? If this is called first, and if it is not fulfilling my condition, then next one will be picked. And it is not fulfilling my condition, then next one will be picked. So the charge account source or charge account values will be picked according to this, and we have a condition to restrict these. Now we are seeing these only as a source. We have an option of mapping set as well. So let me just create one, or there might be something which should be already created. So someone says charge account. Let's go to this account rule. So they have just selected this constant as a value. So they have used Nirma, some they would have created chart of account. And if I search for my US1 chart of account, US chart of account, and then search. Yes, I'm getting only one. Let's say what this guy has tried to. Okay. So here again, he has used this constant. So if I use constant every transaction, every time this will be, this string will come. Then I have the option of mapping set as well. Mapping set is something where you can define like this category. If we are using this category, then this should be the segment value. If we are using this value, then this should be the, I should say, if we have multiple business unit, if we are creating requisition in this BU, then company segment will be one. If another BU, company segment can be two, three, whatever you define as per the business requirement. So that is the concept of mapping set. And which mapping set is used in your rule? So you select this. So now when you create a rule, there are two options. Either you can have a code combination kind of thing, or you can have a only segment type of rule. So here rule type is account combination or segment value. So we can have these two type of rules. So first we need to select the chart of account, which chart of account. Which segment you want to select. For company, if I want to create something, then I can select this mapping set and the mapping set name. So this account rule, once I create this account rule, I can associate this account rule in my overriding segment because I have created rule type as a segment. So you define mapping set, then you define your account rule, then you define your TAD. So once you have defined your TAD, you need to assign it to your ledger. If you don't assign, this is the step which we can omit and we may face challenge that it's not working. So define your mapping sets, associate that mapping set to account rule, then associate those account rules to your TAD transaction account definition. And when you have defined your TAD, then you assign your TAD to your ledger. So ledger, again, let me see, it's US ledger, US primary ledger, then search. Here you search purchasing. Under this ledger for this application, I am setting my accounting options. I am selecting my TAD here. So which TAD I want to utilize, I can select here. So this will start defaulting my accounting. I have a detailed video on this tag. You can go through that on this channel. Then let's go back to our purchase order. So when we were creating the purchase order, we have various types. So if I say, when I say create order, I have this style. So I have to define this style somewhere. Similarly, if I create an agreement, I have this style. I need to define this style. So go to the setup. Manage document style. Oracle has given standard style. In this standard style, we have this name of this style. Okay, click on cancel. And when I select this, click on this edit. You can see I can update the display name. I can say purchase order ABC, blanket purchase agreement XYZ, contract purchase agreement, anything. I can rename these things. But once saved, all additional elements cannot be updated. So be very sure before saving this. When I create, I have the option of defining the style. Do you want to enable this for consignment terms, OSP, or what line type you want to restrict, any specified or all to be utilized, retainage enabled. So if you have this complex work confirmation thing enabled, so you need this retainage thing, progressive payment thing, work confirmation you want to enable. So these are the functionality that we need for complex purchase orders. I have detailed video on complex purchase orders. You can go through that. We can give the display name purchase order, PO, contract purchase agreement, CPA. Then we can say purchase basis is our quantity or its amount. We can check that. So there are different options which you can create, enable, disable. There are various dependencies as well. But when you come to this setup, when you go for implementation, you need to have this setup completed. This document style is quite important. One more thing, that numbering. I was saying we have supplier numbering task separate. We can have only numeric number, supplier numbering. So when you load a supplier, the legacy supplier can retain their number if we load through FBDI. But if you create a supplier, then it can be a running number sequence. It can be only numeric. It cannot be alphanumeric and no additional logic. But when you go for purchase order document numbering, manage procurement document numbering, you have the option of requisition. You can define the numbering of assessment, initiative, negotiation, your purchase agreement, purchase orders, purchase requisitions. So let's say this purchase order. This purchase order says there is a prefix AU. Next number, this one. These many orders are created. We can have some suffix. Minimum digit, if I say here 12. So you can observe this. As soon as I tab out, it has appended this zeros. So if I'm not saying minimum digit, it will keep on increasing. If it will keep on increasing, and it won't give you zero padding anywhere. So this way we define the numbering. One more thing I would like to share, as this procurement numbering, document numbering thing, we don't have any option to upload anything, but we have an option of my task export. Let me enable that view. columns, actions. So if I have this action enabled, I can very well go and export it as a CSV file. And similarly, once I update that CSV file, I can import same thing and my data will be created. So this can be done for most of the tasks. Same thing can be done for line type. If we have anything which we don't have any FBDI spreadsheet loader kind of thing, we can try this option if it is available. So you might not be seeing this, but as I showed you, go to columns, enable this actions, you will be able to see that. Okay. Now, when we did requisition and procurement, so these two tasks were quite critical. If I go for requisition business function, we have various elements that we need to define. Most important is deliver to organization. In your self-service procurement, you did one of the setup, first preference setup, which says deliver to location. If that location does not have any inventory org associated, then this is the particular location inventory org which will be utilized in background. Same thing, if I go to my procurement business function, we have, let's say, US1. So as we are working on this, I'm opening this setup. Buyer is important. Inventory organization is mandatory. Currency is mandatory. So this is the inventory organization. If we put any ship to location and it does not have any location associated, inventory org associated, then this inventory org will get defaulted in background. So we have lot of other options. Enable automatic sourcing, punch out, auto generate. So this is a quite critical element which says auto generate orders from requisition line source to an agreement. So if we are not enabling this, then we will not be able to see purchase order being created from requisitions. Automatically submit for approval. It will end up in your incomplete stage. That PO will end up in incomplete stage if you don't select this. And grouping requisition is also one of the concept. Then negotiation setup also comes up here. Basic negotiation setup. What type of negotiation style you want to utilize, how it's the rank indicator. We have the abstract listing configuration here, that before publishing your negotiation, if you want to publish the abstract, the basic detail of that contract, then you configure this abstract format here. And this is the abstract URL, which you can very well see what all contracts were published. I'm not able to find any because this might not be utilized anywhere. So once we will do the sourcing, we can go through this as well. For this particular business unit, there was no contract abstract published. So do you want to enable the award approval? Do you want to enable the negotiation approval? So these setups are available on this procurement business function only. You can define the default terms and condition which comes on purchase order. This is a standard text. You can disable terms and condition for all languages, or you can enable it for all languages. Okay. This is the basic setup. Now, if you have any question, please let me know. Again, I'm open to questions. No questions? Either all clear or it went all clear. Let me stop the recording.